user page was this, book page was this, right? So we can design the API page and then we can continue. So we'll come to the api.js file. In api.js file, we required only one table. So this table we can copy and we can paste there. One table we can copy and place under the api.js file. This table we can copy and paste in api.js file. From which page? From the user page. User page we have one table that we can copy and paste under the api.js file. After the h3, एक minute, I will be in the call. Hello. Yeah. Yeah, we have Java training. Batch-wise class. It will be batch-wise. There will be some 10 students will be learning per batch. Online we have online it will be batch-wise and with 10 people learning per batch. Okay, so this we have added here. Now in this, you can write one index. Instead of index, write as a ID, or ID we can replace by something else also. Index is also okay, and then we can add here call name, phone number, then we can add here city, and then we can add here call their email. This data will come from API. Now how it will come from API? We require a button where we can write call send all data to Redux. Send all data to Redux. My click class name you can follow. There is a class in the bootstrap btn hyphen primary. And we can write there m-3 and under the API file, we can get one button. When this page will load, here it will display the list of data. The data will come from API on load. Using use effect, we can load the data on load, and once we click on send to Redux, then all the data of this page will go to where? Redux. It will go to the store. This data will go to the store. User will go to the store. Book will go to the store. API data will come from the backend. Once you click on that, it will go to the store. Now, after that, when you come to the Redux data, it will display the list of user, display the API data, display the list of books. All we can see here. From where? From a store. Like individual component will send the data to a store. It will fetch from a store. Okay, user will send the data to a store, fetch from a store. API will fetch from the backend and give to a store. But when we go to the all Redux data will go to the store and bring and display. That represent, yes, component is able to send to the Redux, and one component is able to access from the Redux. Come inside now. Where the next, no, these all are done now. Now next we have to step into the Redux part. Redux configuration is required. So let's go ahead, and this all the component which we have open, we can close with all the components which we have open as of now. Okay, all the open files you can close with your okay. So hope no error for anyone. Under the src folder, create a folder called action. Action folder. Under src folder, there is a folder called action. We have to create a folder called action. Okay, hope ready. Action folder is ready. Under the action folder, create a file. Under the action folder, create a file myaction.js. Under which folder? Action folder, create a file myaction.js. myaction.js. Under this myaction file, we are going to define all type of action for all the component. Saving the book also, listing the book also, not listing the book. Some function will be written here. Listing will happen directly. Saving and deleting. For saving purpose and deleting purpose, action will be written under this file. That is called myaction.js file. Now in src folder, create one more folder called reducer. 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 So under the src folder, you got two folder. One is called action, another one is called reducer. Action and reducer. Okay, action and reducer. Action and reducer. Two folder will be ready. Who is asking? What is the action of that file? File folder is there, yeah, is a folder. Folder name is called action, folder name is called reducer.
Sir, extension.
Which extension?
Sir, will it be .js or .html? What is the extension?
Which file?
Reducer.
Under the action file, we have created a file myaction.js. No other
Okay.
file. Two
No,
folder.
no, I'm asking for the reducer. Will it be any extension or not?
Is a folder name. Look at that. It is a
Okay, okay.
for folder. How can you give it extension? Okay, hope ready. Now, how many files? How many component you have? One is called book, then user, then API, and one more is called all. So we have to create a file book reducer.js, user reducer.js, API reducer.js, and the all reducer.js. See for what purpose? Inside the book component, whichever the data will be handled by, for that one reducer is required. So the for book component, there will be separate reducer. For user component, separate reducer. For API component, separate reducer. All component have their own reducer, and all reducer will be stored where? Under the store. Now when the request will go, to the store, now how many reducer will be there? 4 reducer will be there. Now each reducer will understand, yes, request came for me. Then the particular reducer will do the action. Book reducer will be responsible to delete the data from and add the data from book array. User reducer will be responsible to add and delete the data from user array. API reducer will be responsible to add, delete data in the API array. And all reducer we don't require because it will be just a file in that fetch and display window. All reducer we don't need. We need three reducer. So let's go here. Hope all have created the folder. See, if the file name will be mismatched, you will be misleaded. Keep in mind. Don't write file name according to your ways. Understand first. Once you understand, then you can write anything. Let us go now. So under the reducer folder, next year your my action file is under which folder? My action file is under the
Action folder.
action folder, exactly. Okay, now under the reducer folder, click on reducer folder and create a file called book reducer.js. One file, book reducer.js. Under the book reducer only, create one more file, user reducer.js. Under the reducer folder only, you will create one more file, API reducer.js. API reducer.js. And one more file you have to create, that is called main reducer.js. Main reducer.js. Main reducer.js. Because suppose in your project there is a multiple reducer, all the reducer cannot talk to the store individually. Okay, we have to combine all the reducer one place, and you have to keep in main reducer, and main reducer will go to the store. So when the main reducer will combine three reducer, like suppose API, book and user, three reducer you combine together and put into one reducer. So main reducer will be the container of how many reducer? Four reducer, three reducer. Now main reducer will go to the store. That meaning indirectly all three reducer will go to the store. Okay, that is called, if the project is based on one component, then one reducer is fine. But inside the project there will be so many functionality. So for so many functionality, you cannot ask every reducer to go to the store individually. A store will not allow. A store will say at a time come only one. But whoever come, you carry 100, no problem. But only one is allowed. Okay. Now let us see. What is going to happen is, in each reducer, we have to write something. Okay. So first go to your book reducer. Book reducer. Under the book reducer, create a const book list equal to fat arrow method okay. At last what we do, export default book list. So inside this book list reducer, you have to capture one parameter that is called state. Which state? Old state. If any data is already stored under the state, that has to come. So for that, one state variable is required equal to as a array, and another one should be required that is called action, because the reducer will take the action will come from where? Action file. Okay, that example we have seen, the HTML file we have created, action was sent by JavaScript to where? A reducer. So here also same thing, but action will come from where? Another file that is called action.js file. Yes. Now right here, a variable called old and new state, or better we can write here old and new book.
Old and new book.
Old and new book. Old and new book. Old and new book is a variable that will hold inside the store. If there is some data is already exist, that will come, and in that object O will be capital dot assign. Object dot assign, here you will write a square bracket, another one is called state. Now what is this? State in the sense old value. Old value, where inside the state, if something is there old, that will come using the state variable. After that, this line is for what purpose? To capture old value from state, coming down, return this one, old and new book list. So now book list is the function. When you call the book list, it will return array. Array name is old and new book. Old and new book. Now, as of now, we have not written any if condition here. Just so whenever we call this book list will return the state, and under the state what it is? Empty state. So book list array will return you the length as a empty, as a 0. It will return as a array length as a 0. Once we complete some more part, then we will do here call related to which one? Action and other things. Okay. So at least 2 component we have to ready, 2 reducer, then we can continue. Without 2 reducer, multi-reducer will not work. So this file if you have written, let us come to the next file. See in this line I have written, this is only extra. This is only extra, no, else already you have written multiple time function. In React we have written lot of function, right? So this is also function only. Here we have not imported the React. Okay, wherever we are going to call the book list, there Redux will come. Now this function, let me share you. This function got shared. Take this function and come to the user reducer. In user reducer also paste the same thing and change here user list. User list. At last you can write again export default user list and old new user. Change this to old new user. Old new user. So if you call the user list function, what it will give? Empty, because here also we have no any record.
No.
No record. Ready? So 2 component is ready. API component as of now will leave inside. Let's work on this 2 component. So what are the functions we have? We have how many functions? 2 functions. One function is called user list, another function is called book list. User list is available under the user reducer and book list is available under the which one? Book reducer. Come next. To the main reducer. Inside the main reducer, you need to import both the reducer. Which one? Book list and user list. From which file? One is from the book reducer, another is for the user reducer. So let's write import book list. Suggestion will come, select it. Import user list, just select it. Okay, hope written. Now, before this component, you have to import the main reducer. That is called combined reducer from Redux. Import combine reducers from Redux. Suggestion will come when you type it.
Combine reducer.
Combined reducer from Redux.
By default it comes.
In the Redux library, the class name is function name is called combined reducers. That is a predefined.
Install
Redux install है ना already?
choices on.
Yes, it has come that time only.
In HTML, we have written manual in this one, combined reducer.
Which HTML?
But Redux HTML will discuss. You told right first time.
There we have written there also we have written combined reducer.
Yeah. Manually, we have written. I mean, coding only we have written. Right? Here we are importing that.
There you have imported library directly. JavaScript library, remember? We have imported one JavaScript library that we have imported their main library itself. Here after installation, we are importing. There we have imported directly the main library. HTML file, if you open in that file, it is in the beginning. Imported, now come down.
कलर नहीं है
कौन सा कलर नहीं है?
हाईलाइट कलर इसमें मतलब है एरर मेन रिड्यूसर डॉट सीएस हाईलाइट import
All are disabled because still we have not used anywhere. Okay, come down. Now we have to go for another constant. Another constant, right call main redu reducer. Main reducer equal to combine reducer. Combine reducers. Under that combined reducers, now you have to pass the object in the form of single dimensional array. Both the array name. One is called book list and another one is called user list. So if someone will call the main reducer, what he will get? He will get the combined of how many reducer? 2 reducer. Now, what is the use of the combined reducer? Combined reducer used to combine more than one reducer together. So we got here one reducer called book list, another reducer called user list. If you have only one component and only one reducer, there is no need of the combined reducer. But here we have multiple reducer. We have to combine all together and then we need to send to where? Store. Come down below, write as a export default default main reducer check now. Yeah, you can plan it for us. Yeah, we have option. Same. Everything. Tell me your name again. Plan properly. Okay, so hope you have written. How many reducer we combine together? 2 reducer. Now suppose in your project there is a 20 reducer also, no problem. All we can call in the main reducer, we can combine, and using the combined reducer we can merge all together and we will get only one reducer. That is called which one? Main reducer. Now this main reducer will go to where? A store. So once the main reducer will go to the store, inside main reducer, how many reducer? 2 reducer. Right? As of now, 2 reducers. So in your project, there is 100 project, no problem. 100 component, no problem. You create the reducer and all reducer combine one place and send to a store. All will go inside the store and whichever the action will come, reducer will understand this is my work, this is your work, that is his work. And internally, the reducer will work inside the store. Okay. So hope ready everyone. Yes or no? If you are okay, then I can move next. I can write the next code.
Yes, sir.
Then let's go ahead. Now reducer is created. Main reducer is ready. Now this reducer has to go to where? A store. So we have to create a file. We have to create a file store.js. In which folder? SRC folder. In SRC folder. In SRC folder, we have to create a file store.js. Or you can give my store.js, any name, no problem. Not folder, file name. There should be a file called mystore.js. mystore.js in which folder? src folder. Click on src folder and create a new file. Give the file name called mystore.js. Under the mystore.js, you are going to import the main reducer will come. But remember in the HTML file, how you have created the store. How to create the store. Anyone? How to create the store?
Yes,
You
sir.
created the store there, no?
Yes, sir. With create store, sir.
Redux dot create store.
Yes, function name is create store. Using create store, we can create the store and inside we can send our main reducer. So it will create a store and inside that our main reducer will go. Inside main reducer, how many reducer? 2 reducer. Okay, so let us come. So first import the create store. Import create a store from the Redux. After that, come down and import main reducer from reducer. This one. Let's do that. Create a constant call file name is my store, but your store name can be anything. The file name is my store, but a store name can be anything.
Everything.
So I will create a store here. I'll give the store
Main
name
store.
here. I can write anything. Okay. My data store. So what is the my data store? It is the name of a store name, but it is a constant,
Store.
just like as a constant. Inside the constant, what is going to come? Inside the constant, now we are going to write here create a store.
Create
Why?
store.
Store.
Create store and the main reducer will be passed.
Main reducer we will pass inside the create store.
Yes, sir. Store.
At last, export default my
By data store.
data store.
Data store.
My data store. So hope we are understanding the connectivity between how many files. Now reducer.
Yes, sir.
All the reducer got linked to the main reducer. Main reducer came to where? A store. Now from a store,
Store.
main reducer gone to where? A store. Yes. Now this variable, which variable? My data store, you have to give to the provider.
Store.
You have to give to the provider. Okay. Then the provider will take care of your data inside the store. Let us come here. This word look like difficult. My store. Okay. Let me write here a small name. My data store look big name. We can change to my store only. My store. Okay. Let's keep like this. My store. Okay, so hope ready. Which file? Store file is ready. My store. Constant name is called which one? My store. Now we need to go to the index file. And in index file, we have to call this store. And we need to give to the providers. Provider is the main who take care of the store. A store take care of the inside a store. Who will be there? A reducer. A reducer will maintain the data. Okay, so there is a 3-layer. A reducer will go under the store, and a store will be where? Under the provider. So provider is pending that last point. Let's come to the which file? Index.js file. In index.js file, you are going to import the in index.js file, you are going to import the your store. Where is the store? Store is not only a store. Store is my store. Import my store from dot slash my store.js file, and you will import here again. Import providers. PROVIDER. Import provider from React Redux. React-Redux. Provider. PROVIDER. Import provider from Redux. Ready? Now everything is same. A small changes we have to do. After that, Redux is ready. Look at here. Okay, can anyone send me your this line? React router you have written somewhere. It's one different line is there. Restrict mode will be there. Can send this line once. React. So I am also going to replace this line. Okay, something like this for everyone. Now restrict mode is okay. Before app, open a component that is called provider and close the provider after the app. Close the provider after the app. Before app, open provider, close provider after app. पूरा नहीं लिखना है, only here. Yes, we'll break the line. Here also will. provider, no problem. यहाँ पे जाइए, direct line, okay. Now open here the provider and close here the provider. Open the provider and close the provider. After that, inside the provider, you have to write a store, S-T-O-R-E, store equal to the store name. What is our store name? Our store name is called
My store.
My Store. So this is setting is done completely. Creating the reducer and linking with the store. Now with the help of use selector and with the help of use dispatch, using use selector we can call the reducer, and using use dispatch we can send the action. Two functions we have: use selector to fetch the data from a store and use dispatch to send the request to the store.
ये अभी तो रास्ता क्लियर आपको क्या जाना है,
We have to write.
क्या देखना है और वो
So you see how many files you link. How many files you link? First you have created the multiple reducer. All reducer gone to which file? Main reducer. All reducer gone to which file? Main reducer. Main reducer combine all the reducer and given a reducer called main reducer. Then we create a mystore.js. Inside the mystore.js, what you did? You imported the create store, and under the create store you have sent which one? Main reducer. Under the create store we send the main reducer. So indirectly our all the reducer went to where? Under the store. But a store will not be handled directly. A store will be handled by a provider. So what we did, the store we imported under the index.js file, and a store we hand over to whom? Provider. Now provider is responsible to maintain the which one? A store. And inside the store who will be there? Multiple reducer. Each reducer is responsible for maintain one type of data. Understanding or not? Like suppose you open a shop in Marathali. The shop have multiple employee. Now shop you given on contract to someone saying like the shop you take care. Okay, means what are the any damage, any problem, external problem, just you take care of the what? A store, a shop. Inside the shop, who is there? Shopkeeper. Now who is the shopkeeper? Shopkeeper is nothing but the reducer. Each shopkeeper is trained for the particular selling, right? Again I'll repeat. Suppose you open a shop in Marathali. Now inside the shop you need a salesman. Now how many type of product you have as of now? Two type of product. One is the book, another one is called user. Now the book, how to sell the book? You have trained a salesman, that is called book reducer. How to again sell the user? You have another reducer, that is called user reducer. Now you got total how many reducer? Two reducer. That meaning inside your shop there is a two type of product. You hire two salesmen and you trained both the salesmen, saying like you deal with a laptop and you deal with a fridge. When a person will come want to buy a fridge, he will go to the which reducer? Fridge reducer. When a person want to buy a laptop, where it will go? He will go to the laptop reducer. Now laptop salesman is expert in explaining about the laptop, and the fridge salesman is expert about the selling about the fridge. Now both the salesman is inside only one shop. Both the salesman is inside one shop. Correct. So whenever the order will come, both the customer will come, both the salesman is going to take care. That become one store. But inside the store, when the material will come, material came, something happen or not. Outside of the store, painting is there or not. On the top of the store, something is happening, something is damaged outside. Store shop is proper lock or not. There is a security or not. This all work will be taken care by whom? Provider. Now a store meaning is a shop. A store meaning is a shop. Now for the shop we have to put surrounding no security. So that who is going to take care? Provider. So you can say the shop is under the provider. Right? Shop is under the provider. Inside shop, what we have? Salesman. Salesman, what is going to do? Sell the product. Now to come to our project. Inside the project, we have two components. One is called user manage and product manage. User manage, user related data, user reducer has to maintain. Product related, sorry, book related data, book reducer will maintain. Both are maintaining the data where? Under the store. Now both the reducer we combine together and we store under the main reducer. Now main reducer we send under the store. That meaning indirectly under the store, how many reducer we send? Two reducer. Now reducer went inside the store. Reducer is okay. Reducer is going to maintain the data under the store. But on the top of the reducer, who is sitting? A store is sitting. Now on the top of the store, who is sitting? Provider is sitting. So now let me come to the one photo. That photo may help you better. Let me go. This outside becomes a provider. This is a provider. Second one becomes a store. Second one becomes a store. Now third one, the third one becomes a main reducer. Main reducer. And inside this main reducer, we have multiple small reducer. One reducer is red color. Another reducer is green color. Another reducer is green color. Correct. Now one more reducer will come as a yellow color. Now each reducer is the part of which one? Combined reducer. Now let me write here. Yes, this becomes a main reducer. Main reducer. Main reducer. Main reducer. Let's put it a red color. Hope is visible. Main reducer. Main reducer. Or no, this way it will be mixed up. Okay, let me keep an arrow mark. Through arrow mark, it may be represented properly. So this becomes a main reducer. Main reducer. This becomes a store. This becomes a store. Okay, and this becomes a provider. Let me write here. Outside becomes a provider. Next becomes a which one? This becomes a store, and this becomes a which one? Went wrong something. Provider is okay. This becomes a main reducer. Main reducer, and this becomes a what? Again I did a mistake. This becomes a
Third one is a store, sir.
this is the store, and this becomes a
The main reducer.
main reducer. And inside, whichever the small children are there, all are called as a which one? All are called as a, these all are called as a reducers. REDUCERS, reducers. So understood the level?
Yes.
The reducer is where? Inside of a store. Inside the main reducer. Main reducer is under the store. And a store is under the provider. Now component is somewhere else. Your components are somewhere else still. The components are somewhere else. User is somewhere else. Book is somewhere else. API is somewhere else. Look at here. Suppose this is the user component. This is the book component. This is the API component. Now what will happen? User will talk to the user reducer. User will talk to the user reducer. Correct? And book will talk to whom? Book reducer. And this API will talk to whom? API reducer. These all are the component. This is your component. Component. Okay. So component is going to talk to whom? Component is going to talk to whom? Component is going to talk to the reducer.
Reducer, sir.
Inside the store. User will talk to whom? View. User will talk to the view. User will click where? On button. That is called as action. Action will happen. Then dispatch will happen to where? Reducer. Where? Inside the store. Okay, so nothing to confuse much. Let's come to the main point. So here we have added till here 4 layer. We understood or not?
Yes, sir.
The reducer are children. We kept under the main box. That is called as a main reducer. Now main reducer is a part of a store. And a store is the part of the reducer. Sorry, provider. Your component is sitting somewhere else still. The component will talk to the action. Action will dispatching the action to where? A store and will do something. Check now in browser any error. React reducer, something it says problem for me. React Redux in index.js file. I have made some mistake. Import provider from React Redux. Import
Provider or providers.
provider or providers.
चल रहा है तो छोड़े ही ना.
Anyone else have the error?
Yes, yes. For me also, right. It is not that React Redux package is not there like that. Issue.
Can't resolve React data.
Change to Redux and then see what is saying.
That module is not found like that issue.
No problem. We can install that React Redux. npm install React Redux. You can go to the terminal.
Sir, this error is coming.
Go to the terminal and install the npm install React-Redux.
working, sir.
Hmm.
మనోహర్ ఎక్కడ మనోహర్? సరే సరే.
Install React Redux.
For showing some topics.
My store.j services folder name. My store.j now. Here I am. Do not contain link NEEE command. I use.
Okay, so hope you are getting the data. Hmm?
Similar.
Similar. React Redux still says similar for me. Provider. That installation is done, right? For how many people it's working? Mine is stuck somewhere. Let me recompile it. Changes are happening in the application now.
Make file notes.
Hmm?
Make file notes.
It's a restricted one.
Maybe देखो मेरे में भी तो नहीं
So many cannot resolve. Mind research users.
Working, sir. Now, after restart, it was working.
Now after restart, it's working. स्टॉप करना होगा
अभी B capital. Create a store. Where image file, store file. Secret from Redux. Store. Create a store from Redux. CREATE.
Okay, so hope you got the file. It is working now, right? So till where we reached? We reached how to create the multiple reducers and combine all the reducer. After combining all the reducer, we given to main reducer. Main reducer going to a store. From a store, it is going to where? Index.js file to where? Provider. Correct? It will come to provider, and provider is going to take care of your store. Right. Next, after that, we will work on action file. Action file. Action file, or maybe we can work first on book.js file, book reducer. Here we can do the same add delete what we have done there. No? Action.type equal to add, then add. Action.type equal to delete, then delete. Okay, that we'll do here. And after that, we need to work on action file. And after working on action file, we need to integrate in the view file. Okay, so tomorrow task will be only action. In action and where action and book component, you can complete the book component. Action plus view component, action plus view component. After that, next day we will see the how to read the data and display the data. Okay, so hope till here working for everyone. See, still you are asking SRC folder. Okay, I will share the SRC folder. Scheme in chat, you can use that. Okay, then we can log out. SRC folder is shared. You can log out. Previous class video will come in YouTube today night, and today video you can see from there. Last class and today class, both video will upload. And follow. So please go through the flow and understand also. One URL I have given is that day for Redux some store. What is that? Some theory was there. You need to have a look into this.
Chips हैं?
अभी तक जितना हम लोग काम किए स्टेट के थ्रू, सेव राइट डिलीट लिस्ट ये सब काम किया, तो एक कंपोनेंट से दूसरे कंपोनेंट में जब जाते हैं तो डेटा लूट हो जाता है, मतलब जो सेव किए रहते हैं वो खत्म हो जाता है, करते हैं ना, जेसन से करते हैं तो नहीं होता है, वो अपना चल जाता है, ठीक है, लेकिन यहाँ सामने दिखाना बंद कर देता है, ये नहीं होता है स्टेट के थ्रू, उसका एक डिसएडवांटेज है, उसको मतलब उसको ओवरकम होने के लिए, उसको हटाने के लिए रिडॉक्स का कंसेप्ट है। तो रिडॉक्स में अभी हम लोग क्या किए कि एसआरसी फोल्डर के अंदर एक्शन के अलग, जैसे ऐड डिलीट करेगा तो वो पर अलग फाइल फोल्डर बना देंगे, अच्छा ओमे माय एक्शन डॉट जेएस मैंने अपन ओकरा हिसाब से फाइल क्रिएट करना है। रिड्यूसर के अंदर जो प्रॉब्लम लेके जाई, रिड्यूसर के अंदर अलग अलग हम रिड्यूसर तैयार करेंगे, जैसे बुक वाला के काम बुक डॉट बुक रिड्यूसर करी यूजर के बोले और जाए, ठीक है, तो अलग अलग रिड्यूसर बना लेनी। अच्छा वो रिड्यूसर अब का करी मेन रिड्यूसर के देगी, मतलब कि तेगा तेगा कलेक्ट कर लिया तो ये वो आदमी के दे दे कि तू हमरो ले ले, तू हमरो ले ले, वो आदमी अब दोनों गुड़ा के लेके जाएगा, मैं रिड्यूसर लेके जाएगा, ठीक। अभी मैं रिड्यूसर अब टॉप करेगा स्टोर से, अब सब लिया के एगो बड़का आदमी के दे दे कि ये स्टोर में यही लन सब यही लन से काम हमने के लिया के दी, मैंने जोड़ के चाहे घटा के, मैंने ऐड करके चाहे डिलीट करके, अब वो माई स्टोर के दे दे ई वाला फाइल के, अब माई स्टोर के भी अलग फाइल बा, जवन माई स्टोर ऊपर वेरिएबल के नाम बा, ठीक है। अभी माई स्टोर इंडेक्स डॉट जेएस के देर प्रोवाइडर के जवन पूरा रिस्पांसिबिलिटी
प्रोवाइडर पूरा स्टोर के टेक केयर करे ना। अच्छा अब ये हमरा का सवाल बा कि जवन बुक रिड्यूसर डॉट जेएस बनानी है, बुक लिस्ट कॉस्ट बुक लिस्ट ई फंक्शन बा, ई फंक्शन बा जवन लेके जाएगा, तो ये स्टेट डिफाइन करनी है एक्शन, स्टेट है एक्शन, तो जवन स्टेट के थ्रू जैसे बुक स्टेट में से डेटा लिया है तो वो स्टेट एरे में जाए, ये एरे में पूरा जैसे मान स्टेट में जवन डेटा स्टोर रही स्टोर में नो वो स्टेट में आई, डेटा यहाँ एक्शन में होएगा, स्टैटिक जवन वही जवन स्टेट में जाए ना ना ना, जितना तू लेके आवे ना HTML से वो सब एक्शन में आता हो, एक्शन डॉट बुक नेम लिख ले रहे ना, तो एक्शन के अंदर डेटा आएगा, ठीक है, और स्टोर में जाएगा, और स्टोर से जब फेच होगा वो स्टेट के थ्रू फेच होगा। अच्छा वो दो काम कर ले, ये दो हम यहाँ लिखेंगे, एक लाने के लिए हम एक्शन का यूज कर रहे हैं, कहाँ से HTML से, HTML से लाने के लिए एक्शन का यूज किए, और यहाँ पे एक दूसरा वेरिएबल है, कौन सा वेरिएबल है, स्टेट है, जो एरे के फॉर्म में जो पुराना डेटा को लेके आएगा, और पुराना वाला को किस में आएगा, स्टेट में आएगा, और नायका वाला एक्शन में आएगा, ठीक। अब नायका वाला को हम पुरानका वाला में ऐड कर देंगे, रिटर्न कर देंगे नायका पुराना का ऐड करके, जैसे आई फंक्शन जो हम लिखे हैं